God damn it, boys. I don't need this no more. This is part 19. 19. I said if you gave 40 likes and two no not 40 likes, 40 views and 2 likes, I'll make another part. I'll make another part, and you did. You did, boys. And I'll say this now. I'll say this now before we start the goddamn video. If you get 45 45 views, 45 likes, God no. 45 views and 2 likes, same like total, you got to get 35 views and 2 likes. That's all I need. If you can get that much, I'll do another part. I'll do another part. But now I'm going to do some other stuff too, I can't just keep on doing this. I know you guys are interested and I love this too, but I got to do some other stuff. So, last time we left off, Percy and Annabeth were in the USJ as they were fighting basically the goon squad of the first group that was trying to kidnap them. And uh guess what? Guess what, boys? I figured out his name. Shigaraki's own kind of group and the Nomu, as they crushed Fro um Percy, basically doing some style points, doing flipping, freezing half of them, and then doing some cool stuff as Annabeth basically just styled on them with their fighting style and freezing. As when the gnome finally attacked them, they basically just froze it alive and just it didn't even like touch them. As uh, after that, they had all the people captured as Shigaraki and the Dust Guy. Still not good with names. Disappeared as everyone else was questioned. Uh, and the Nomu was studied and figured out that they had a super strength curse and a basically if this was basically made to kill All Might, but because Percy and Annabeth fought it and they just froze it alive, it never had the chance. So, and also we go back into Percy's Annabeth personal chambers as they, not canon reasons, but as Annabeth has a little, not as big as her, like it's been like 2 months, but it's a little one, like a little baby bump, as she's covering with her cloak, as it's now more out and more present. It's very easily now seen, but they're now building, as Percy says, we might need to build some protection for them. As they're kind of building like a little, like almost like nursery, but not really. It's a little bit different. As that's where we ended it off last time, and I hope you enjoy. Let's start it out. As you see, Percy and Annabeth are still training, but Annabeth is a lot less now. She's still like working on her flying and trying to make it quicker, but with everything else that's going on, she's mostly working on taking care of her body. Uh, most of the stuff I'm going to be making up mostly myself because we have some of the lore elements, but not a lot. And this is an entirely different form, especially because technically Percy is not completely Big Chill's race. He's around still 10% human. It does not affect his powers, but it's still there. It's same, like the genetics are still there, so it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. And Annabeth feels this with her body because her hormones are oversensitized now. Usually, with this race, there's no hormones, it's just straight up birth. But now, she now has like other things that are taking care of the child, and or children, technically. And she feels that they're going to take longer. They don't know exactly, and they haven't told anyone. But they're Annabeth and Percy are taking care of their children. As they still train with the groupies, and they're just trying to keep it hidden, but Percy and Annabeth are basically trying to keep this hidden from everyone. So while in class, she's very like no, does not let anyone touch her. Like there's like only like a couple people she lets touch her, and that is Percy, obviously. That's the only really person she lets him touch, like the area around the child. But like some of the girls, like Momo and uh, sometimes Jiro, but like everyone else is almost they all got the memo. Even Bakugo. Bakugo got the memo of you don't fuck with her right now. She is dealing with something. They all got the memo from Percy and Annabeth that and all the other like groupies that like something's happening with Annabeth. We don't know what. It might be her week. I don't even know if she has like it might be her kind of due date. That all the girls kind of got pissed at all the guys when they said that. You're almost strangled Dengue when he accidentally said that. But we don't know. But that just means that Percy and Annabeth are going to be dealing with this. As Annabeth is also starting to get more clingy, especially with Percy. As the boys can see that, but they've been showing more friendship. Like all the boys think they're just really good friends. So they just think, "Oh, she's really clingy. She must be like trying to get more like warmth or something. Something's happening with her body. It might be genetic with her quirk. So she's trying to get people connected with like herself. So a natural connection. So like they think because she's being more clingy, she's not like trying to be like, oh, they're trying to be girlfriend and boyfriend. They're just trying to she's like getting like some way of her attention. They don't really know. These boys like Bakugo's out of the situation at all. Kirishima's not trying to deal with it. Danky's a little bit more interested because Danky's more of Percy's friendish, but only person that really talks about it is Jet Boy, Nerd Glasses Man, and he barely tries to bring it up. But when he does, it's just like Percy's like fucking death glares and like, don't try. As weeks go on, as they start weeks, not really weeks, like a week, as they start training for the as with the USJ itself, as they had like a couple days off to be like traumatized because Percy and Annabelle basically dealt with that with easy vibes. Basically, they didn't have that week off, so they didn't have that couple days off or week off, so they basically kept on training. So they're in high peak format, especially Bakugo, especially because of his new mindset. Bakugo is trying to say stuff that he would not say, and is working on his own like mental and physical frame. Like he's been working out a lot more, he's been waking up a lot earlier still, but he's also working on meditation, understanding and like psychology and all that stuff. Like he's trying to figure out why the fuck would he deal with teach talk to people like this like they're lower than him even though technically everyone's equal. If everyone's equal at the beginning, so where did the gap come from? It's money, power, and quirks. That's where the gap came from, and that's it. So we've cut off all our money, we cut off all of the power that we have, and we cut off our quirks. What do we have? Everyone's equal. That's like Bakugo's understanding right now. He's trying to figure that out. As should I go into the tournament arc? Let's slowly. Let's go into the tournament arc. Technically, a tournament arc training. As they start slowly, as Aizawa explains what's going to be happening. He doesn't explain what the test will be. He does explain how they're going to be tested, though. They also cannot bring any of their like equipment, so Bakugo can't use his grenade launcher things. But they can use their. They can use methods. He's trying to bring out that they can cheat a little bit in a way to figure out how to get to where do they need to go faster. He basically said you're trying to get to the finish line and win as best as physically possible without any margins. As Todoroki, Bakugo, Percy, and Annabeth, both of them heard, yeah, you could trip someone up, cheat, freeze the world if necessary. Just do what anything possible to win. As Annabeth has also been eating a lot more, and people have noticed because it's been like it was like normal portions, like a sandwich, like some meat, and then it was like 3 portions bigger, and then a little bit bigger than that. As weeks gone by, she's been getting more and more hungry. As she's never have to deal with this ever. She's never been like always hungry. She's always eating snacks in class. Like I was just allowing it. As I was not even dealing with this anymore. But as I was asking, like, as I was trying to ask questions, Percy's like, "Don't do it, don't do it." As at the beginning of the year, their desks were pretty close. Like they're not connected or anything like that. Now, Annabeth is basically sitting in Percy's lap now. Like their desks are completely like connected because hormones right now are so wild that Percy Annabeth does not want any of the females right now, except a couple of them. Like Jiro is allowed because she has a boyfriend. Mina, no. Mina is not allowed at all because of her jumpy, boisterous nature. She just feels like nah. Now, the day of the race begins. As last night for uh Percy and Annabeth, Percy has to figure out ways to make Annabeth like be okay with him being away from her because right now there's a maximum distance that he can go before Annabeth chases him down. That distance is around, I would say, 10 feet max. He's gone 11 feet, but if it's anything more than 10 feet or more from that general area, it seems like Annabeth just instantly goes right next to him. And it's been kind of weird because they usually try to separate. Like, Annabeth goes into her part of the group, talks to Jiro, Momo, Mina, and a bunch of the other girls, and he talks to Kirishima, Danky, Tail Guy, and he explains things to them. But now it's more like she's over here or he's over there with the girls group. It's one of the two. As like they have to be almost back to back most times. As he's figuring out other ways to get his scent in like in close to her so he doesn't have to like it doesn't look as suspicious. As he figured out cologne. but it's his natural body senses into the cologne. As as before the race begins, actually a couple hours before the race begins, he spritz a little bit on Annabeth as she is now calmer, a lot more relaxed even. Same way when they're like cuddling in their bed. It only lasts like 2 to 3 hours because he like it's like a decently sized bottle too. But it is enough to keep her not going crazy. As Annabeth and Percy start the race, as Todoroki does his same old shit and tries to freeze everyone, as a lot of them do, as but Bakugo, uh, Kirishima, Tail Guy, because Tail Guy realizes what's gonna happen to Danky, uh, obviously Percy and Annabeth. A bunch of 1A figures out what's gonna happen because of Todoroki's what he's been doing in practice a lot of the time. But really, I can't. Okay, this might sound like really cheap, but none of the traps that they set up can deal with Percy and Annabeth. If that's understanding. Well, okay, so Percy and Annabeth are basically can turn intangible, can't be touched, can't be moved, and are basically invisible. They just go through the entire trap system without touching anything. Because the cams don't even see them until they get to the finish line. Technically, it's a double tie because Percy and Annabeth touched the ground at the same time. As the next person after that was actually Bakugo. It went Percy. Well, technically it was a double tie, so both of them got first place ribbons. So Percy and Annabeth, Bakugo, Todoroki. Fourth was actually a class copy quirk guy. He copied the quirk of one of the students and actually was able to get through it. Glasses, Danky, no, Kirishima. Did I say Kirishima yet? No, Kirishima. Kirishima, because his quirk doesn't really work for this. He can broke throw walls and all that stuff, but it doesn't like go for speed. And a couple other after that, like I'll go for the top 10. So it goes Mina after that. Actually, wait, Mina got stuck up behind because of the ginormous like falling like uh uh robot. So she got stuck behind that. So it took a little bit for her there, and then it went Momo, and then right behind that is the local pervert. Now, how did the local pervert get into into literally the top 10 is because he's stuck behind Momo's back. The entire run, it was just on Momo's back, and Momo didn't haven't realized the weight. And then, Big Hands Girl from Class 1B. That was the top 10. As when they realized there's 2 first place winners, they're kind of like, oh, okay, shit. As they both got the first place headband, and they also joined teams. So it was already a massive target on their back, and now it's just more big. But both of them are just smiling as both of them are like, oh, we're going to win so hard, as they make their group for the, I kind of want to call it a chariot. For the chariot, as it's Percy, Annabeth. It took a little bit, but Momo joined, Danky, and Earjack Girl. Only because Earjack Girl saw Danky join their team, and he was like, no pressure, you can join. He was like, I'm joining. As what's the strategy is right now is because technically your Jack Girl is the lightest out of the bunch and is easier for her to do this stuff than any of them. Plus, all their quirks is mobility quirks, and her can stab into the ground and she can know where everyone is. As it's more of a defense area than anything else. But also, Dang kind of wanted to just to fucking hold her like a queen. That's one of the two. As Mina, as not Mina. Did I do Mina? No, it's Momo. Momo starts making like gas grenades as before even the round starts. She's already made around like 5 to 6 gas grenades. As it goes 2 up front, so it goes with the discuss of Annabeth, but it has to be done. It goes Momo up front with Percy, and then Danky in the back with Annabeth, and then Earjack Hurl on the top. As when they say go, uh, they sorry, they chuck the smoke grenades, and Annabeth and Percy basically make a entire ice wall around them, and it's basically like more like an ice like dome, as they make a ginormous dome. As everyone looks at this and just says, "Okay, how the fuck are we gonna get through that?" As they make ice dome after ice dome after ice dome, as it's just making more and more ice domes, as it's just on top of each other, as it's almost impenetrable. Plus, it is the densest ice you could ever probably go into. So they just wait out the time, and they actually get second place right behind Todoroki's group. Because Todoroki's group actually stole pieces and got like a decent amount of points. So it goes uh, Todoroki's group, Percy's group, Bakugo's group, and then Copycat's group, and then Dark Shadow's group. Those are the top 5. As this is where we're going to end it off, just now remembering you guys now, please don't torture me forever. But 45 views, 2 likes, and I'll make another one for you guys. I'll make another one. You guys, I'll praise you to I'll make a new one for you. But I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.